Ooh, lights on.
Ooh, I
Ooh,
got an idea.
ooh, idea. Oh, idea. Let's
Light
take
bulb.
the stupid, sexy voice lady out for a, for a
Light
date.
bulb.
Light
Ooh.
bulb. I got
You
idea.
reckon she
Oh, I've got a
has?
light bulb too.
Oh, I
Oh,
don't think you
idea. Oh, it's
definitely can't
fucking
say.
lighting me.
Sorry. You reckon stupid sexy lady has a friend? Because I think she's yours. So do you reckon I get anybody in this? Or serious friends with this woman?
Look, it's not official, so it's free game,
Okay.
but at the same time, you might have to find a different app.
Boo. Far out. Anyone that just starts this show now is gonna be like, what is this joke that they have?
Well, I've had no feedback whatsoever, and I kind of like it. So I'm going
So,
to keep running with it.
I love it. It's perfect.
That's it.
Everything we
And
need.
then you know what happens? The smashing sound.
That's the play of the game. That is the play of the game. Time!
From the impossible angle, and he puts it through, and Portland.
Danger, 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 danger. Butler, 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 Butler.
Get around him! Get around him! Edge of the seat.
Welcome back to the Glass Table, episode 13. Unlucky 13 for some, but not for JT. How are you, mate?
I'm good. I'm very good. Very good.
Up and about?
Up and about, except my team is
Sucks.
shambolic. So
Yes.
yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, not exactly happy about the performance this week. Never.
Yes. No, round 11 was interesting. And you got to attend the first game, which we'll get to in a minute. You're in Sydney over the weekend, mate.
I
Tell us
wasn't sitting
about
really.
your Sydney experience at the SCG. Some may say it's a Sydney cricket ground. I like to call it the shit Carlton game. I find that quite funny.
Sure, that's a funny one.
Or the small Carlton ground, or the small cricket ground, or I could go for nights, to be honest. But yeah, tell us about that, mate.
It's a really weird layout ground. Like level 1, it's like 2 levels. Like, so where we were sitting at one point is like a lower level of level 1, and then another level of level 1. I had to go up a flight of stairs to get to the seats of the next level of level 1. It was the weirdest experience ever, and like, I didn't get it. I was confused. I just didn't know what was happening. I'd drunk too much by that point for me to understand where the stairs were. It was just a lot.
Too much
Too much.
happening.
Too much going on in my brain. But yeah, I was in Sydney and I got back this morning, slept for about 5 hours, and then rolled
Here we
into
are.
reporting.
That's the commitment I like to see. That's why I pay you the big bucks.
Yep.
That's why I get paid the big bucks too. That's how many games is that now? Because obviously
That
you're
is,
counting,
I believe, my
you're counting this
23rd. Yeah, I believe that's my 23rd. I like slowed down recently in the last few rounds because I missed round 9 altogether. But I had 2 in round 8, 1 in round 10, and 1 in round 11. So I've slowed down, but we will pick it up again.
Well, you're running at a strike rate of about 2 at the moment, 2 a round.
Yeah, that's very good. Gather round really pumped my numbers up, but yeah, we're running well.
So you need another gather round.
I do. Make more gather rounds. Make every round gather round.
In Adelaide?
I just live in Adelaide. See,
I mean, no. Nothing personal, but I'm just sick of people coming over here and clogging up my streets and taking all my shopping.
Understandable.
It is what it is. I mean, you can come, but
Not everyone else.
everyone else, just subscribe. How's that sound? Stay in your state and subscribe. That's good. I'm glad you're back from Sydney. Now you can tell us your coaches award.
Yeah, I like the way starting the coaches award. This one, I try to do is I try and do it from the games that I've watched. So obviously, I was going for the Friday night game. This is a player that has actually played pretty well this year. Like when he has, when he got out there. And I thought he was really impressive against the Blues. Was this his first game? think it could have been his first game. Could very well be his first game.
I think I know
But for
who
the
you're
year.
talking about.
Kick 2,
Oh,
had 16 disposals. Sam Wicks. Sam Wicks,
very nice.
Sydney Swans. Had kick 2 and was pretty like lively early when the game was still sort of in the balance. And then to come in and do that, in his first game for the year. Like other years, he's building. Like he's still only 23, so he's sort of still building into the game. He hasn't been always ultra impressive, but first game for the year, Sam Wicks. Beautiful. Well done.
Plays for the Swans. Done very well.
Yeah. There you go.
You could say he has his wicks about him.
Sounds actually really good.
I'm in fine form today.
Fine form.
Yeah. No, I like that. That's out of the box.
Yep.
It's a bit different and respectable.
Yeah. We're
Sam
building a
Wicks.
side. We're building a decent
Yeah.
side here.
I might actually get the graphic up for
Put 'em
people
together.
this week and see exactly how we're looking.
See where we're
because,
going. I reckon I've picked about 7 forwards, but anyway, it's fine.
well, if it's the All-Australian team, if that's anything to go by, you're not picking any wingers.
Oh, absolutely not.
So if you've got 6 tall forwards, then wingman.
You got to play the Matthew Richardson wing role. Check him out there.
Yeah, I don't think any of them are playing the Matthew Richardson role well.
None of these guys are going to be anywhere near.
No. But round 11 did start. We may as well continue. Sydney Carlton.
Yes.
Obviously, we're there. Sydney, surprisingly to my fruition, got the job done. 26 points. Carlton. Why?
Oh, Carlton.
Why? Do you know, a lot of people spell it BLOO now because it's genuinely Blues. The Blues Brothers. How'd you find it?
Oh, man. So I did like the maths of my 23 games. I've been to, I think, 6 Carlton games of their 11 this year. And I have seen some truly awful Carlton in those 6 games. Like I've been to a couple good ones, like Carlton Geelong, good game.
Yes.
Like, well
I
done,
was there
Carlton.
for that, actually.
Yeah. Richmond Carlton, not good. Bad, actually, really bad.
Hmm.
Adelaide Carlton, awful again. Where's my other Carlton games that I've got here? Let me just try and find them down the list. Carlton Brisbane, bad.
Oh, that was
Carlton
awful.
Sydney, bad. Why? Stop.
So what you're telling me is essentially if you attend, they're all bad.
Yeah. So
Besides
I'm, for the
that too.
sake of the Carlton community, going to reduce my number of Carlton attendance games because, good lord, Carlton, like this game in particular, they kicked themselves out of it
Oh,
because,
yeah.
like, when the game's and again, it's that same thing. When the game is in the balance, they couldn't do it. Like, but the thing is, they had enough of the ball. They had enough in their forward 50. They just can't kick for goal. Like, I am confused as to how somebody that plays football 5 days a week and then on the weekend, like, it is your job as a forward to kick goals, and they don't do it.
And they get big bucks. And there's long
Like-
time on contracts to do it.
Nearly 7 figures, some of these key forwards. And I don't want to name names because people have just abused him in the media, but I'm going to do it anyway. Harry Mackay.
I'm not going to name names, but Harry Mackay.
Going to do it anyway. Euro 3, I got a video of one that was very gettable. Like, they
If
were
you're in
all,
the crowd.
they were all there. Like, like, man, I don't know what's going on.
6 goals, 15. And to be honest, I'm not going to put the blame on just Harry.
Yeah,
Both-
no, it's not just
both-
Harry at all.
Both the big keys. Like even Curno's field kicking.
Hmm.
You know when you try and stab a pass and you try and keep it low? This thing was almost like a hack goalkeeper kick.
Yeah,
Just trying to pierce the ball down the line. It was terrible. It was a shit game to watch. And
yeah.
Sydney just took full advantage of the fact that Carlton, they're terrible.
Bad. And now they have to play Melbourne.
They're done.
Likely without Paddy Cripps too.
It didn't look too good.
No, that looks sore. And I reckon he'll probably still manage to get him, get his way back in. Like, he'll try and put himself up for the game. but I don't think he'll be anywhere near as good, even though he hasn't been that good anyway. Like, I don't think he'll be anywhere near what he can be. Carlton are in trouble, I think.
Yeah.
Like, big
And
time.
the problem is they haven't got the big key forwards firing.
Mhm.
I don't think they've kicked a score over 100 since they played West Coast.
Yeah, and like even before that, they hadn't done it in like you have the reigning 2 Coleman medalists. Like they kicked between them 1-6, I think, on the weekend.
Yep. One goal.
Which means
I mean, they kicked
they're
two
getting
goals.
to that's the thing, they're getting to the ball. They're getting the ball. They can't kick.
Look, part of me is like, we keep believing. Like us two, we put a lot of faith in
Yeah.
the community, in the team, but it's sort of like relief now. I don't
It's
have
like
to do it.
no, we don't have to do it anymore because we just know. Like it's
I just
I was sitting with Carlton fans like around me and they all looked like I felt sad. I cannot even imagine how they feel.
it's terrible.
Yeah. Anyway.
Do you know what's great to listen to is the talkback radio.
Oh man, that is the funniest thing. Oh, that's so good.
I love talkback radio.
Talkback radio is
Have
peak
you ever
fucking
called
fun.
in?
No, I've thought about it. There was a game like a few years ago. We played, to be fair, probably unfair on my behalf. We played Richmond like late in the year and it was 2017, so they won a flag. But all I remember was earlier in the year, we beat them in Maddie's match by like 90 points. And then we played them at the G later in the year and they beat us by like 70. And I remember like coming out of that game, like ready to die. Let's see. Like, I just want to fucking. Fucking hated that shit. But
Yeah.
no, I haven't. Oh, well.
I mean, the option's there. I just would love to dial in. How you going, fellas? You know, why can't he kick?
Fucking
Blah,
sick.
blah, blah. I love how they bring the passion into it. Like they pay their money.
That was the
Like,
funniest part of that whole thing.
like
Oh,
we
money.
pay our money and you get paid to do this shit. And I'm like, you've got a point, but also they don't have a choice. You have a choice.
You can not give them the money. It's fine. Like you don't have to.
Spend it somewhere else. Like, I don't know, the tables. You've got a better chance of winning. Got him. Well done, Swans. Good stuff. I'm happy to see them 2 in a row now. They put themselves back in the conversation for that top 8 spot. And if they can get Buddy around the footy a bit more, I think their smalls are very good. Chad Warner, Isaac Heaney played his best game all year. And that's all that I got to say, to be honest. I just hated watching this game.
But the Swans, once they get their key defenders back, they'll be fine. Like they need Tom McCartan back. I don't know if Paddy will come back, but they need Tom. Because then it can, actually help them. Because like we said, Carlton definitely got the ball into their key forward hands enough, which they couldn't kick. So if you had that Swans defense against a team that was kicking better, they probably would have lost this game. So Swans will get back Tom McCartan and they should be fine. But yeah, good on them. They're building back into what I'm hoping will be a finals team.
I think we spent too much time on this game.
Yeah, we did.
And that's because
We
Carlton
can skip this next one if you want.
Oh, no. Speaking of talkback radio, Hawthorn have caused probably one of the upsets of the round and beaten the Saints. Mind you, Jared Thomas, in the last 2 minutes, they've kicked 12-16 to 12-6. Now, what happened? Oh, look at you. You're so sad and I hate it already. We can skip. If you want to skip, we can skip.
I'll be quick about it because it
Act
hurts
like
me.
you're calling in.
All right. Okay.
We've got JT on the line.
Now, I watched this game. We start pretty poorly. First quarter is whatever. Hawthorn are all over us. Second quarter, we build a little bit better. Third quarter, we're a little bit better again. We're up by about 3 goals in 3/4 time. I think let's do what we do. Let's sit back. We win last quarters. We'll sit back. We can absorb this. We can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Then, ball goes down the wing. Gets centered in. Top of the goal square. Jack Higgins.
Yeah. Look at your face. For those
Jack
that are
Higgins takes that
listening,
mark.
it looks like
We win
JT's frozen.
Jack Higgins take that mark. We win that game. Because he kicks the goal. We go up 3 goals, whatever, and the game's
Mm.
over. The thing that
Right,
upsets me the most is they shouldn't have even. They deserve to win this game. They had so many more scoring shots than us, like ridiculous more scoring shots than us. 10 more. They had so much of the play in the first half, and when they just ran over us, I was like, "This was just going to come, wasn't it?" Because like they deserve to win it. We don't deserve to win that game. Like we should have won. Like here's a weird scenario in that we should have won the game because Jack Higgins shouldn't have dropped that mark. We should have kicked the goal, like, and we should have won, but we didn't deserve to win it.
Mm.
Like we should have won it, but we didn't deserve it. It's that really weird middle ground.
Yeah, but the games you don't deserve to win, but you take advantage of and win is probably what makes the difference in your season.
Exactly, and that's why we should have won this game.
Yes. You were torn apart by James Sicily.
Yeah, but he's going to get suspended anyway. I don't care.
No,
Whatever.
you know, to be honest, I agree with you. You know why? Because we play them next week.
So good. Yeah, you're all over that.
Happy days.
Happy day. You know.
Yeah, look, you didn't have a lot of the ball either. You had, I think, four players that actually have over 20 touches. 2 of them probably three of them in your defensive unit: Stocker, Wangani Malira, and Cal Walkie.
Yep.
Cal's had 21, Stocker 23, Wangani Malira 25, Brad Crouch had 26. The rest under 20 touches. Sicily's had 43. So
That's what I'm saying. They had so much of the ball, like.
Yeah.
But the weirdest part is we have not moved on the ladder. We're still 5th. We shouldn't be. We shouldn't be in the 8. Like we should be like struggling to get to the 8. We've had a terrible month of football. Like ever since we beat Carlton, we've struggled like hard. And the fact that we're still 5th is weird. I don't like it very much.
No. It's starting to think that there's a top 3. Actually, no, you know what? There's a top 2, and the rest debatable.
Yeah, no, like I would say like a top 3. Like I think Collingwood, Port Brisbane, good form, good teams. They're going to be well into it. The rest, you could fucking shuffle around and just throw them into a box because I don't know what's going on anymore.
Shuffle them, put them in a box. A raffle. Whatever you
Yeah,
pull out, you get. Max King,
pretty
though,
much.
4 goals again.
Oh yeah, Max King was great. Like Max King does what Max King does because he's a very good footballer. Mason Wood was good on the eye test. Like we had players play well. It's just as a team we didn't play good because they got out the back so many times. Like, oh, get me off this game.
Okay. I can see that vein from last week popping back
Yeah,
again.
it's coming, burning.
Oh boy, a real turn on. Speaking of turn ons, Freo turned it on.
Yeah, this was one of those games. I think did we say this last week that this was going to be? Yeah, we said that this was going to be a bit of a danger game. And they did it. Freo, they're good. Freo, they're actually good.
I reckon they're in that top 6 conversation now.
They're coming back. Yeah, they're a good football side. Luke Jackson's found his fall. Like found his feet a little bit. He needed that game where he dominated. It was against like West Coast or whatever. No, whichever game
Sydney.
they like dominated. Yeah, whatever game they dominated and Blue Jacks played really well. Needed that.
Luke Jackson's becoming a firm favourite of yours at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, because he finishes me off or whatever.
Well,
Oh boy.
I didn't want to bring it up again, but there it is.
Hello.
Nice and quick.
Big.
Did I miss with 3? Is it Tracy? How do you pronounce that name?
I say tricky, but I don't think that's right.
Tricky?
I don't think that's right.
The Tracy. Hang on. I'm going to get this.
Hang on. Go
A
again.
tricky name.
I don't even know if it's right. I actually don't know what his name is.
I don't care, to be honest.
Yeah.
So anyway, 7-point win. The D's didn't kick straight. And I'm going to get to this in a minute because it's pissing me off.
Yep.
Being a 7-point win, I'm happy for Freo to do the job. And I don't think there's too much more to say other than the D's have lost a little bit.
Yep. They're starting to lose some games of football that they shouldn't be losing. No, Clayton Oliver is obviously a tough one, but
Barrow's turned up into that role. He's been pretty good, I thought.
yeah, but they're like that's the thing. Like you lose Oliver, but you've still got Gorn, you've still got everybody else.
Brayshaw.
Like Yeah, you don't need like you need him, but you don't you shouldn't be dropping off too bad.
I don't know. Next interesting game next week when they play the Blues,
They
the
cannot lose
Blues
to the
brothers.
Blues.
Okay. I said this as well last week that the Giants are in pretty good nick. And we've got to start going with our
We'll
gut
start
feel.
going. Yeah,
Because seriously, we
Step on
say
the
a lot
heart.
of things and they don't, like, they come true, but we don't go with it.
Yeah,
The Giants have knocked off the Cats at skilled GMHBA, Geelong,
Virginia,
whatever you fucking call it.
Simmons. Yep,
They've knocked them off. Toby Green,
done it.
200 games.
And he
All-
played so well again.
Oh, 3 votes. The
Like,
grass was greener for GWS on the weekend. Probably not my
you're
best.
full of them today. Full of them today.
There is a run sheet.
He's written them down early.
I've got one for
Not
each
prepared.
game.
Oh shit.
Always fully
Yeah,
prepared.
Giants, so good.
It's I don't know what it is, and it's again it comes down to the goal kicking. The Cats,
Yeah.
10 goals 14 to 12 goals 9.
Yeah.
They to half time, I thought GWS were the better team.
Yeah.
And even still after half time, they just held them off. Like they were
Yeah.
just it wasn't even a stiff arming. It was just
It was just like a nice body on. Just like a
just body on body situation.
did
I'm
what they
gonna
needed to
go
do.
contest. I'm gonna get the clearance. See you later.
Yeah.
Did you catch much of this game or by this
Actually,
time?
yeah, no, we watched the entirety of this one.
Yeah.
Which was good. The Giants might be the best 14th place team I've ever seen in my entire life.
And we love GWS, by the way.
Giants are 14th,
We
and
love
I'm
them.
looking at them like they should be top 8. Like it's insane.
They're in the form of their life to be 14th.
Playing so well, and they're 14th. And some of the wins they've had. They beat Adelaide. They beat Geelong, obviously. They haven't beat they beat good teams too. I don't know what's going on.
And it's genuinely baffling to think that they're playing some really good footy, and they've just been unlucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Genuinely unlucky. And you know what, as well? And I think this was sensational. I'm going to get it up. Jesse Hogan didn't kick a goal all day, but he's gone in and gone, I'll have 112 fantasy points because he's had 19 touches, 10 marks, 6 tackles. He's done the hard work. He's put dedication. He's got his hands dirty, Jared.
Do you reckon he listened? He listened to me saying Jesse Hogan falls off halfway through the year every year. Now he's like, no, I'm going to do this now. I'm going to be a footballer.
Possibly because I may have texted him the clip. And I've just gone, don't worry about him. Listen to what I have to say. I back you. You're my little Hogan. I got you. Jesse's girl.
That's going to win one game.
Jesse's girl.
Okay.
Where can I find a Ford like that?
Oh man, we're having this discussion. Is Jesse Hogan the best worst key forward or the worst best key forward? In that, you consider him a really good key forward, but he's probably the worst of them, or you consider him not a very good key forward, but he's probably the best of the ones that are bad. I said the former. I said he's probably the worst of the best key forwards.
I would say that.
Because it's he's known, he's got a reputation as being a decent key forward, but he's also just not as good as the other ones. So I would say he's the worst best one. But I don't know what's going on with him anymore, so who knows? We're just gonna roll with it.
Well, regardless, I'm happy with GWS winning, and the Cats I'm not sure.
The Cats losing makes me so happy every single time.
Especially at Cardinia, GMHBA, or whatever the fuck they call it.
Gorgeous. Just gorgeous.
Oh,
baby.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, baby.
Why are we making weird sounds?
Very bad. Let's get out of this.
Or can we get into this? I don't know. They go to Darwin. Did you know that the Suns played the Dogs in Darwin?
In Darwin.
Darwin.
Sometimes.
And guess what? It was a Darwin for the Suns.
We'll just clap him. Just a break. Pause break, everybody. He's getting there. Look at that.
Why is there so many people clapping? Who let an audience in here?
Live studio audience.
I'm here all week. It's all right.
Okay.
It's all
You
good.
know, just before you said we make a lot of predictions and like a lot of statements on this thing that become true or like are very true, and we just don't like act on them, kind of thing. The other week, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, I said that Matt Rowell was one of the most underrated players in the competition right now.
Correct.
Matt Rowell, 29 disposals, 22 of them kicks, 7 tackles, a goal. 29 of his disposals, 23 of them were contested. He is a freak.
16 clearances.
He is a freak.
He's found that form he had in the first 3 games of his first
That's what
year.
I'm saying. He is like, because I said at the start, it was Matt Rowell was the one that everyone was talking about, and Noah Anderson and Jack Lukosius were like his supporting cast. They have now become the main stars. Matt Rowell becomes the supporting cast, and he's dominating. Like, people are going to now be like, okay, Matt Rowell is one of the better contested mids in the comp because he is now. Because it's what he is.
Yep.
Like, Matt Rowell has found that form, and he's so good.
What do you reckon the thing is? Like, is it the fact that Gold Coast have a bit of confidence? Is it Stewie Jew saying, you are our number one?
You are our man.
Or is it just that grass is just working so well?
I think he started the grass thing, and now he's like, I'm here. This is my league.
See, what do you reckon Darwin grass tastes like?
I reckon it's really pure. Like, I reckon it'd be really good. It's good in terms of whatever grass. What is good in terms of the other grass that he's been eating.
I reckon
really
the grass,
pure grass
is greener up there. It has a lot of moisture.
Oh man, that is fucking funny.
It's so pure. 100% authentic.
Oh, it would be. Anyway, Matt Rowell.
They're mulch.
Fucking love Matt Rowell. So good.
He's so good. Can I also just say that I think I found the solution to the Socceroos having a striker. Jack Lukosius.
That cross into the volley.
Oh, Ainsworth to Lukosius. Bang, tap it in. See you later. That's real sweaty.
That was sweat. That was Victor Obabo to Javinho kind of deal. That was Sado Doumbia. That was the FIFA 15 Roma front three. That was serious sweat.
Oh, that's bringing back so much memories.
I love that. That's my favorite game.
That was sensational. 5 goals straight. I reckon he had about 238 meters gained, which means I reckon 8 of those meters were from the 2 goals he kicked from the goal line.
Also, how good was Bailey Humphrey's goal to win the game too?
Oh,
Matt Rowell's stiff arm. Matt Rowell's stiff arm out of the tackle. Matt Rowell again. That's our boy. Handball off. Kicked in. Bailey Humphrey. The crumb kicks it in. Bailey Humphrey, you're a superstar. Gold Coast so good. The Suns.
I love that name too, Bailey Humphrey.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it rolls off the tongue.
Bailey.
Yes.
I also said that.
Bailey Humphrey.
Also, Gold Coast, the best 12th place team I've ever seen in my time.
Oh yeah. They're our boys too. I said I'd write them off last week, but I'm right back on them.
We've been all over them. Have they brought it back? Carlton just continued to dig themselves a hole. Gold Coast are bringing something. Yeah.
It's sunnier with the Gold Coast Suns. Bring them in.
Right.
Bring them in. I'm happy with that. And you know what? I got the tip right. Yeah. Something about Gold Coast playing in Darwin.
Yeah, that does make sense. Like when I was looking at it, I was like, this makes sense that Gold Coast should win this. Like it, yeah.
They play I'm pretty sure they play the Crows up there too next week.
They will beat them.
Yes, they will.
Actually, I don't know.
Do you want to say anything about the Dogs?
I fucking just said they were good, and now they fucked me over again.
I feel like
they're still good. They played a good Gold Coast team. The Dogs are still going to be fine. They didn't play bad. The Dogs. It was just Gold Coast were just like really good. So Dogs, I'm indifferent on again. They're just fine.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Thought I'd get a little bit more out of you there, but I didn't.
Nah, not this week. I'm being nice to the Dogs. Ooh, I'm being a nice man.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Essendon, this was the stock standard Saturday night Fox Footy time slot, and they've won it by 48 points.
Let's say
50
we
points.
give this game about 15 seconds of our time.
All right, I'm going to count at 15 seconds. Away you go.
Essendon win against West Coast that are no good. That's basically all we need to hear about it. Cole Langford kicked that pretty good goal. And yeah, that was pretty much exactly what we thought was going to happen. So there we go.
Port Adelaide have done the job over Richmond this weekend, 10 points. And it was probably the worst win Port Adelaide have had, I'd say, in about 3 years.
These types of wins, especially with you guys, because you're on an 8-game win streak, I messaged this to you. When you have this type of streak, you need, like, if you have an ugly win, like the fact that you played ugly, you didn't play amazing, but you still got a win, that fills you with confidence. Like, it's like we didn't play our best, but we still beat a side that very well could have beaten us today, kind of thing. Like, that just means that if you're playing at your worst, and not your worst, but, playing not very good, you know that you can improve from there. That's a tough matchup, Richmond, at the MCG. So, like, an ugly win, sure, but it'll be like, you guys are good. Like, it's a good game.
It's our fifth win. It's Port Adelaide's fifth win this year from 10 points and under, out of the 9 we've won. And we bet the Swans up there. We bet the Dogs. We bet the Saints, the D's, and now obviously the Tigers. And we did it with pretty much points because we get 10 goals, 17. 10 goals, 17. 10 goals, 17. The Tigers also kicked 9 goals, 13. And Dusty can't kick a set shot to save his life. But with Port, this is the thing. They've done it without Dixon. They've done it without Marshall. They've done it without Boak. They've done it without a Georgiadis who would have played essentially without Dixon and Marshall. And probably a subpar Rioli who was out there. Genuinely, right now, this team is probably the only team that can take it to Collingwood. If it's obviously round 2 was, I reckon it's an anomaly now because we've just come off a big win against the Lions. It's so bad. It happens. If we were to play next week, I think we'd beat the Pies. My
theory with this, and I think you're going to touch on it later in a couple games time, maybe it's next game, whatever game it is. If you play, so say you play Collingwood at the MCG, like you said, like in round 2, say you play Collingwood at the MCG, you put up more of a fight than Brisbane at the MCG. Like, Collingwood versus Port at the MCG would be much, much closer than Collingwood versus Brisbane at the MCG.
100%.
Like, if you put Brisbane versus Collingwood at the Gabba, Brisbane then put up a fight because they've beaten them there. But Collingwood versus Brisbane at the MCG would be much more of a blowout than Collingwood versus Port right now.
100%. Like, you play this game next week, and I think I say that confidently because it'd be Port Adelaide versus Port Adelaide, really.
Prison bars are out.
Prison bars. But yeah, other than that, it's just one of those games where we got the job done, and 8 on the trot. That's an equal club record.
Wow.
So if we beat the Hawks next week, it'll be the first time ever we've won 9 in a row.
What a flying.
It's history here in the making. Tigers, well done, Andrew McWalter, by the way. Very good first game as interim coach.
Yeah, I love Andrew McWalter playing. It makes me really happy. I love him being a coach because it was like,
playing.
Oh yeah, I said playing. I realized that. I like him being a coach because I liked him when he played, and now it's like, Andrew McWalter's coaching. That's cool.
There's something about a bloke with a Mick in it.
Yeah, and this is also a weird Mick.
It's like a McQualt.
Yeah.
There's a Q.
Yeah. Also, unrelated. Tim Taranto says, "Go and get fuck cane corns." He's 4 and has 33.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. It's in a game where Port win, led all day. Now, this was the equivalent of the stiff arm kid.
Yeah.
We had a great first quarter and then kept them at 2 goals the whole game.
Yeah, and then just held them out.
This is the thing. Do you give the 3 votes to Zach Butters, who's kicked 1, had 32, or do you give it to a bloke in the losing side who's kicked 4, had 33?
and tried like was their number one player and bringing them back to within sort of like 2 goals kind of thing. Yeah, it's a challenge because like you'd say objectively Taranto was the better player today, but because Port won, you could probably give it to Butters. But like you never know what the umpire's going to do because they always go insane. But like that's a good game by Taranto. That's a very good game.
That's real. I'm walking in Monday morning.
Walking in Monday morning, head held fucking high. You walk into the review and you go, "You did nothing. You did nothing. Me,
you're holding
I
the
had 4."
review. Where were you in the trenches when I've had my 33rd, kick my 4th? Huh? You've had 5 touches. Ben Miller, stand up.
It reminds me of
I
that
saw you fumble
coach's
late.
spray video. The coach's spray video.
Yeah.
We're fucking Arsenal.
Stewie G one's a great one. What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? That's a real motivation for Saturday night sort of things. Next game, we'll do this quickly because I didn't watch much of it. But Pies, I thought this was going to be a bit bigger a margin than it is. But on North, 35 points to the pad.
It could have been bigger, but Collingwood at Marvel are never that good of a team. They were still fine, but like Collingwood and Marvel are just a weird little anomaly kind of thing. But yeah, I didn't watch this game because I was asleep. So
was it a good nap?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
One of the better ones. Did you go ahead? 35
did you dream about St Kilda actually winning? Or
imagine. I can't even dream about it. I've never seen it in my life.
Hey, if you're listening,
Dacos. Keep straight from the
wing. Yeah, Jordan DeGoey best on ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dacos done well. Bailey Scott pretty good for the Bailey Scott.
Yeah, he's like been okay.
Bailey Scott.
He's just one of those guys that's just kind of developed. He's gotten okay.
Really?
Yeah, he's all right now.
He's not bad.
He's getting better. Like he's not amazing, but he's getting better. Like
Bailey Scott. 2 first names.
Yeah, that's very 2 first names.
That's an interesting combo, 2 first names.
I just said that's very first 2 first name, as in my name is Jared Thomas. Like that is fucking. That is
we've been through this. Jared T. Thomas.
Jared T. Thomas.
Or Harrod.
Yep.
Harrod. If your name is Judson Clark.
Judson Clark. Which we found out, by the way, everybody.
Yes.
Judson Clark's dad's name is Jared. Which is fucking hilarious. But also, it's spelled Jarod, which is, in my opinion, the incorrect spelling of the name.
Yeah, well.
Which makes sense when his son's name is Judson.
Judson. I still want to go with the belief that there's a keyboard error there.
Oh, man. Very funny. I was shocked when I looked that up.
I know. We went extensive research in that too.
Yeah, we had to we figured out the dad and we were trying to figure out his mum's name. We just couldn't get it.
I downloaded a lot of interesting newsletters from his junior clubs just to find out if there was
his mum
any
worked the canteen one day or something.
I just wanted to know if she was like ground marshal for a game. I don't know.
Because the umpire escort. I don't know. Like somebody plays just
who cut the oranges? Just give me something.
Let me know the mum's name.
I just want.
If anyone has any information, please DM us on Twitter.
Who's your mum?
Who's your mum, Judson?
Who is your mum and what does she do? Kindergarten cop reference. Love it. Phoenix Spicer.
My boy.
2 touches. Had -7 meters gained.
Tacticals up. 5 fantasy. I brought him into my super coach this week. Phoenix Spicer.
Why?
Because I needed a forward.
Because you just spice things up a bit, did you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, unless he. What did he score? That's awful. Awful. Fucking awful. I think I think the clip for this week that needs to go out is you doing all your puns. Just smash cut of all of your puns for the whole thing.
Oh, I didn't have one for Port.
Boy,
I don't want to.
no, that's fine.
Yeah, go on. What were you saying about your Spicer?
Oh yeah, I had to bring him in. His break even was so low, but he almost got below his break even. But it's fine. We're all good. We've survived. Ollie Lord kind of saved me, so that's nice.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Every time I see Ollie Lord, that's all I hear is oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord. Okay, so the final game. We watched
Yes.
the last quarter of this together.
We did.
And probably didn't pay too much attention of it because the Crows ran away with it.
Yep.
And all I'll say is, once again, Brisbane, 10 goals, 18. Kick straight, you pieces of you're paid so much money. So much money. There's two. Look at it, right? I've got two batteries to prove a point. There are two big sticks, right? Same thing at Alberton. I swear to God, they've drawn like this. I'm going to draw it up. And I'm sorry for those that are listening. Okay. All right. I reckon it goes like this. That's what the sticks look like at every fucking club. That's what the two little ones are in the middle and the two big ones are on the outside. Kick straight. It's not hard. What are you doing? Like when you're walking in towards goal and you see two big sticks, you're like, I get paid 500 grand a year. My one job is simply mark, kick, goal.
What is, you know what, like, astonishing? Like, you know what's actually astonishing to me? Like, people on a field can kick it 40 meters to a direct hit, like direct target down the wing. What changes in a set shot? You have more room to do it.
I don't know.
Like, you have more room to.
Is it time?
Is it like a psychological thing? Is it the fact that you have, like, it's like all up to you, like everyone's eyes are on you? Like, I would simply just play on every time. I'd just pretend like something was happening.
Just you're hitting a target in the crowd. It's not a player. It's a crowd person.
You remember when, I think Melbourne still do it. Remember when they put the target up behind the goals?
Oh, we have one too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why?
Clearly.
You should just do that, though. I feel like it's just better. Just pretend you're hitting someone there.
And is it that hard to adjust to wind? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I
Hate it.
my rant's done. We're on to the Crows. These two teams are bullies at their home ground. They travel away and they're pissants.
That's what I was saying before. I feel like you were going to talk about it because Brisbane and Adelaide are like the best teams in the comp when you play them at their ground, and then you put them anywhere else, and they're just not that good.
They suck. Like it's weird.
So they're about Brisbane earlier in the year as well.
Yeah, well, they're the same thing. I think they're the same. It's just, and you know what? People will say the Crows, this might elevate them. Yes, they beat a top 14 at home. To me, and I'm not taking anything away from the win, but I just don't think it's as big as win it is.
I think it says more about Brisbane than anything else.
Correct.
It says more about Brisbane than it does Adelaide. Yeah, it says more about Brisbane than it does Adelaide. Like, they need to learn the grand final, unlike it did that one year, is not played at the Gabba. like
the Gabba's
they
a
have to
shithole
learn
anyway.
to play. Yeah. Oh yeah. Fucking the lights went out there this year. Like they need to. They have to like figure out how to play football outside of,
and do that.
Big sticks.
Not look.
They're the opposite of what he's drawing.
Hang on. That.
There we go. Done.
That's a wonky left goal, a point post. But anyway,
it's fine.
It looks like this when you go to school, and they've given you the leftover post from the old footy ground, and they're like, oh yeah,
they're just swaying,
just like that. If you go up to it and you shake it, you're like, well, this might come out.
You like lift it out of the ground.
I'm taking this home with me. Very good. That was round 11. It was an upset round, but it was also a round that's not made me impressed at all.
No, there was a lot of like just weird results this round. A lot of close games, but like just nothing games. Some of them.
Should we go around the glass table?
We should go around the glass table. We got a lovely little segment earlier this week.
We did. What did we do again?
We we are discussing our favorite time slots to watch football. Because we talk a lot about the Saturday Fox Footy game. We talk a lot about the hangover time slot on a Sunday. We wanted to find out what people's favourites time slot to watch football would be in. Do you have anything that interests you?
There's a lot of 7:20 Friday nights.
That's a peak. That's such a good time.
I feel like if you look at it as everyone said night games to them, like it suits them. Friday nights you go in straight after work.
Yeah.
Saturday nights are the same. I mean, Stickman thoughts he goes purely for watching footy Friday night. It's the pinnacle of the round. It's the perfect time slot. I think there's stacks here that say Friday night games.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wellesley says it. Rinny, who's a new one. Oh, that's nice. Fridays. Anyone from you?
Well, I also said that Friday night one, and so did Cal. But then I'm sort of looking for sort of different ones. This one I like from Jacko, which is Thursday night. I love Thursday night footy. Ari, he's wrong. I mean, Ari is wrong, and he hates Thursday night footy. I love it because you like on a Thursday when Thursday night footy's on, it feels right. Like you get home from work, whatever. You have work tomorrow, but it's like there's footy on tonight. And you're like, I get to watch footy.
Yeah.
Like it's.
I'm sitting
I
there
love
and I'm
Thursday
just
night.
like, you know what? I've got one more day of work left, but at least I can go into bed knowing I've watched one game of footy already.
You've had entertainment. Like it's a good night. You've been able to do something. Yeah, I fucking love Thursday night football.
Yeah. Saturday afternoon football in the 2000s, says Brando. I love it. I think it's great. I remember like you're there, like when you're a kid and Channel 10 have the broadcast 2:00. You're just sitting there and it's like, I'm going to listen to Michael Christian and probably Anthony Hudson, Andy Mars on the boundary. I've got probably Malcolm Blight special comments. And I'm watching Essendon Hawthorn in their prime with Matthew Lloyd, and they're bashing the living shit out of each other. What a time to be alive.
Beautiful. I love that. And it's also like Saturday afternoon footy was like, you'd have Auskick in the morning or something. Like you'd be out like Auskick in the morning, you'd be rolling in, and then it's like, all right, off we go. Like if you'd go as well, like it's like, you get to go into the footy, you go to the MCG and watch it. Like, oh man, Saturday afternoon time slots are lovely. And it was also like the delayed time, really funny too. Like loved when the game's already over and then you just had the delay.
You come back and it's like, I can watch it again.
Here you go again. It's the third quarter.
My team won. Absolutely. I'm watching it again. Also,
exactly right.
Personally for me, I agree with that. There's something also about the Channel 7 2:50 time slot on a Sunday. I feel like
nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
There tends to be really good games in that time slot. Like the Sunday 3:20, while not like it wouldn't be the most watched or most attended, but there always seems to be like some bangers in there. For some reason, in my mind, I don't know why this is coming to me now. There is a game years ago on a Sunday 3:20. It was Adelaide versus North Melbourne, and Adelaide won with like the last kick of the game. Was it Paul Pleasure? Maybe. Oh yeah. Like kicks a goal with like the last kick of the game. That I remember being like one of the best games ever. And then there was another one, and it was I think Mitch McGovern taking a mark to draw it. Like he had to kick a goal and he drew
against the Pies.
Yeah, I think that was a Sunday as well, maybe. So, like, for some reason, Sunday 3:20 games, slap. Look, really good.
The first one that comes to mind was 2016 round 1. We played St Kilda. We wore a special Guernsey and beat you by 33 points. It was Charlie Dixon's first ever game for the club.
Yeah, right. Fair to say it doesn't come to my mind. 2016 was not a good year for our club.
Shall I? I'll send you the link. You can watch it.
Please don't. I think we might have come last in 2016.
We didn't make finals. It was a shit year, but it was a good game. Any others?
What have we got here? There is nothing else really. There's a lot of Friday nights. Saturday nights are good as well. There's someone here did say 3:20 Sunday. Saturday nights are good. like I like going to Saturday night games. I think like they're always nice. You can go
They're
out
dangerous
afterwards.
though. They're dangerous because you play footy on the Saturday arvo.
Oh
Then you
man,
go straight from footy. Like we finish at like 4:30. You get home about
Yeah.
5. Come home. You get ready. You go. You're there. You watch the game. The team either wins or you loses. Regardless, the invitation, especially in Adelaide, to cross that little bridge, walk into that little highlighted casino, and you
that shiny
hear
casino.
"Bull Rush!" Game on, fellas.
More chili.
I'll put 50 on 7.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday
Tell you
night
what,
is always the invitation to be really sore. Go to the footy and then be like, oh, I suppose I'll go out. And then you wake up Sunday morning, you're like, that was a mistake. My legs are dead. I'm done.
I do also find it's good recovery.
Yeah.
Mm.
Beers help alleviate stress and muscle pain.
Beers are good.
He's good.
Do you know what else is good? Being sexy. Do you know what else is sexy? A segment we have called Stupid Sexy AFL Players.
Play the music. Stupid sexy AFL players.
All right, Stupid Sexy AFL Players time. This is where we go through the list of players that we think are stupidly sexy. They have appeal about them that we don't necessarily watch them for their little kick inside 50 or,
Little
nice
kick
little
mark
celebration
game that
goals.
they do. That
No, I
little
don't
kick
know.
mark thing that they apparently they do. Yeah.
I like when they roll their socks down and they pick up a ground ball.
And their calves are popping.
Hello, Sinclair. It gets weirder every week. Do you have one?
I do. And you know what's the best part about this one? It's the first time I'm picking a player because I've seen them in person. And I went, like at the time, and I went, stupid sexy. All the other ones have been like, I've seen them on TV and been like, like seen them while I'm at a game or seen them like on TV and been like, they could be good. And then I think about it later in the week. This is the first time I've seen them outside of a footy context in person. And I've gone immediately, you are my stupid sexy player of the week. Walking through Sydney Airport. I get off the plane. I'm walking down. I see a man in a Giants tracksuit.
Oh, no.
I look up.
Oh, yeah.
Stephen fucking Canelio.
Oh, the cog. You got your cogs going, didn't it?
Oh, man. Saw him and I was like, I immediately was like, you're the one this week. You are who I'm picking.
You're the one.
Stubble at the moment. He's got this stubble, and I'm like, yeah. Yeah.
There's something about a stubble on a man.
Hello, Anthony.
How you doing? It's not shaped either at the moment. It's just a bit frizzy.
Growing. Oh boy.
Good to be compared to Stephen Canelio. A cannoli. Bet he tastes good.
Shit.
Well, it's cannoli. They taste good.
Yeah.
You ever had a cannoli?
Maybe once upon a time. I haven't had it in a while.
Oh boy.
Anthony, I just want to remind you. My name is Jared Thomas.
I don't know what that's got to do with the price of cannolis, but sure. I'll take it. Anyway, this is going to be a long one. This is just going to be a long cut up. Watching the game Friday nights, it wasn't a pretty game of football, and it wasn't something I particularly enjoyed watching. But there was one particular bloke I did enjoy, and I don't want to put it the way I want to because it just sounds odd. But this young fella, he's going to become a star.
Yep.
And it's David Warner. Nah, just kidding. It's Chad Warner. The frizzy hair and the locks.
noodle hair. Yeah.
Yeah, the noodles. I don't know.
Yeah,
The Maggie
something about
Green. Just you wouldn't find it in the little cup you buy for lunch. It's just more so he's there getting you 30 touches. He's kicking a goal, and they're crucial goals too.
And let me tell you, I know this for a fact. Chad Warner is the best Warner to ever play any sport on the SCG ever.
Oh my god, that's so wrong. That's so. I mean, hang on. Do you compare centuries? Because like David scored a few, but
Just
then
a
if you
few.
look at Chad Warner. I mean, fantasy wise, he might have scored a couple of tons.
We should try and compare Chad Warner's SCG fantasy centuries to David Warner's Test centuries.
That's I'm doing that.
We're assignment
Chad
for the
Warner Test centuries versus sorry, Chad Warner's fantasy
AFL
centuries
fantasy centuries. Yeah,
versus David Warner's Test
David Warner's
centuries
Test centuries. The SCG.
and his averages.
I like it. That's good.
I don't think Davey Warner has too many kicks, but I don't think Chad's playing a lot of cover drives.
Oh, we're just putting these two together. Sorry, boys.
I don't apologize. One stupidly sexy, one can't play in England.
He can't really play in Australia.
No, only at the MCG.
Just that one time.
Bully.
Probably.
Absolute bully. Should we do our round 12 tips?
We should. Let's do it.
All right, round 12. Melbourne versus Carlton. I think we're both going with the same team here.
Yeah. Sorry, Carlton. You've hurt us too. You've hurt us too many times. You've broken our hearts too many times. We're gonna go with Melbourne.
Just to reference the old Chris Jericho. Carlton, you've made the list.
A shit list.
You've made the
list
shit
of
list.
last table.
You've just made the list. Saturday Arvo, the Adelaide Oval. Oh, I can't attend this. Port Hawthorn.
Port's gonna win this by considerable margin.
Oh yes, I look forward to it. Bit of percentage. And in the corresponding game at 140, it's the game that we reckon will be a forfeit. West Coast versus Collingwood.
Did West Coast have any injuries? I didn't look. I don't know if they had any injuries this week, but they got back a few players the week before, so I think they might be okay. They might be fine.
I think they might get a 22.
Maybe they might just sneak over the line.
Oh, actually a 23. They're going to find a sub. Oh, hopefully they get one by Friday.
It's not going to matter anyway. Collingwood's going to win by 400.
Minimum. Have you ever seen the movie Cats and Dogs?
Cats and Dogs Revenge of Kitty Galore? Absolutely, I have.
Well, it's happening at Marvel.
You expect me to have such a specific knowledge of the Cats and Dogs franchise. Cats vs Dogs Revenge of Kitty Galore absolutely slaps. Great sequel. One of the better ones.
Oh, is it a sequel? What about the original?
I think the first one just called Cats vs Dogs.
Is it?
I don't know. Are we about to do a deep dive into the Cats vs Dogs franchise?
Yep. Well, it's happening at Marvel this week, so I might as well. No, I don't want the differences between them. There's a third one.
Cats and Dogs. Cats and Dogs. The first one's at 53% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's a good movie.
Yeah,
It's got Tobey Maguire in it.
I think I knew that. Yeah, second one, Cats and Dogs: The Revenge of Kitty Galore, and then Cats and Dogs 3, Paws Unite.
Well, let's hope the Paws unite on Saturday because they'll need it against the Cats.
I'm going to tip the Cats.
Or is it going to be Revenge of Kitty Galore?
I need somebody. You can do it, Ed, if you want to, but if you don't want to, I need somebody else to do it. I need somebody to Photoshop Jeremy Cameron's face onto Kitty Galore.
I am going to be diving deeply into the editing room this weekend.
Into the chamber this weekend.
Oh, the chamber is red hot. Who are you tipping?
Cats. Cats going to win this. You want to go the Dogs?
I do have a bit of bark in me.
Got that dog.
Cat dog. Just to reference Toby Thurston.
Oh, Even better one, Cat Dog, the show. Absolutely.
There's a lot of things happening right now.
That was a bang. We are not even talking about football anymore.
I'm gonna tip the Dogs
Okay,
because I just need a difference.
that's fine.
It's the Suns versus the Crows in Darwin. Oh, it's in Darwin.
I'm going to tip
That's
the
that
Suns.
way.
I'm going to tip the Suns.
I'm gonna tip the Crows.
Okay. Cool. Like you said, Crows are one of the better teams at home, but then went away from home. They're not very good. I think
Yeah.
that Darwin, like Gold Coast play good in Darwin, and they're in good form at the minute. Matt Real, the coaches. I think they beat the Crows.
I'm only gonna do it purely because I think for some reason I don't believe the fact that the Suns can win 2 on the trot.
Yeah, that's true. That makes a lot of sense. They do this all the time. They beat a good team and then they lose the next one. Like they do it. It's like their whole fucking thing is they beat the good team and then they lose. So it makes sense. But I'm gonna hold faith. It's Stewie doing the Suns.
They are Stewie due. Due for it. The Giants take on Richmond
It's a bit tasty.
at Giants Stadium.
That's a bit of a little tasty game.
It is very tasty.
I'm gonna tip the Giants.
Yes, I'm gonna go with you.
Yeah.
I think
Giants good at the moment.
Giants good. Tigers
Tigers okay.
rawless.
Tigers building, maybe. Who knows?
I don't know. You know what? We say teams are building. It's round 11.
You should be built by now.
You got any more timber in the shed, brother?
Borrow from Tassie. This is
No.
also the first time Toretto and Hopper are going to play against their old side.
Hopper gonna play?
Maybe. Probably not. First time Toretto is going to play against his old side.
Fair enough. And the last game of the round, Essendon versus North.
Essendon, I think, need this. They got 2 good weeks in a row. They had West Coast obviously this week, and then they got North. They need to win both these games, and they will. I think they'll beat North. But like they need to do this convincingly. Like the Eagles game was pretty convincing, but they need to do it. They need to back it up again and get another pretty convincing win, build some more percentage up, and sort of keep challenging for top 8 because they can't afford to fall below the likes of like below them, the 4 below them at the moment. Like they're 8th, but the 4 below them, the Freo, Geelong, Sydney, Gold Coast, who are all in like Geelong's in a bit of whatever nick, but like Freo, Sydney, Gold Coast are in good nick right now. So they need to make sure that they are starting to pump some teams and like lock in a spot.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm tipping Essendon as well. Just on as I choke on air, just on the ladder. You look, the top 6 pretty secure at the moment. The Saints are obviously shaky at the moment, but from the Crows all the way down to I think about the Suns, there is going to be a beautiful fight for the back end.
I would
of the
even say the
season.
Giants. Like from 7th down to 14th, there's like a bunch of teams where it's like you guys are all okay. Like I don't think the Giants will make the 8, but it's like they're playing well enough right now to challenge for it, kind of thing. It's just they like have had those shaky losses.
Well, that's the thing. Now you look back at GWS Richmond, and like whoever wins this game, one season's done. One's
pretty much. Yeah, it's like whoever loses is like pretty fucked, to be honest. they're in trouble.
I agree with that. And just so people are aware, it is the first week of the buys. We've got the next 4 weeks with buys, which I hate this time of the year.
I hate it for Supercoach. Supercoach fucks me completely.
Yeah, no, I hate it. It's just,
but
have everyone have the week off.
Yeah, they should just do 1 week in the middle where it's just a week off. Absolutely. But I don't have to watch St Kilda this week, so positives.
That's true. So regardless, next week's episode is going to be a happy one.
I'll be happy. I won't care.
Because you wouldn't have it a loss.
No, exactly right.
And I hope we pump Hawthorn. Because if we don't, next week's episode is not happening.
Bad ant.
Just quickly, Lions, St Kilda, Sydney, Freo, no game this week. 4 very good teams.
Yeah, 4 teams that are like in that sort of that like Brisbane obviously up, but then Freo, Saints, Swans are all in that sort of like bottom 8 fight kind of thing. So
Do you know
half
what's
the age. Is it?
weird is next week's buys? No, sorry, it's not next week's. It's round 13 buys. It's only Gold Coast and Geelong that have a buy.
Why are they doing it like that?
I don't know.
And then round 14 has 6 teams, like,
What?
and then round 15 has 6 teams. Like, surely you could have done it over 3
Hang on.
weeks.
Oh, yeah, no, we're around 12, aren't we? Yep.
You could have done it over 3 weeks. You could have added Geelong and Gold Coast into our week and just done the 3 weeks.
Remember when they used to do it just the 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Make life simpler.
Or just give everybody a week off.
Yeah, and throw in. I don't know.
Play an All-Stars match.
Yeah. Bring back EJ Whitten Legends game.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Give it to Channel 9.
There you go. If anybody's listening at all from the AFL, which they won't be, but if anybody at all is listening from the AFL, go back to play the season, have a week off in the middle with a bye. That bye weekend, you could do an all-star weekend, but don't have the play, like not like an all-star weekend. Just do like a events weekend. Do like as a goal kicking comp with legends. Or just a goal kicking comp with players. Like, do that. Do the EJ Whitten Legends match. Like, you don't have to do an all-star game, so you don't have to risk the players because they get a rest. But like, do a fucking goal kicking challenge with the best forwards, like the top 4 forwards in the Coleman at the time. Do an EJ Whitten Legends match. Like, it's not that hard.
Under 18 championship game.
Yeah, play a Vic Metro versus All Stars, like play a Vic versus All Stars or whatever. Like,
Or open.
we should be on the board.
Absolutely, we should be on the board. I reckon we would make decisions quicker than goal umpires.
Absolutely.
Do you want to let it out?
I feel like this episode's run long enough, and this
Yes.
rant's going to go for 15 minutes, so I'm going to do it next week.
So when we have a bye,
Yeah, when I have a bye where I don't get to talk about St Kilda, I get to fill my time in abusing goal
that's
umpires.
next week. Tune in next week.
Tune in next week for when I just.
Jared Thomas takes on the goal umpires. Oh,
You've
that
seen
was
any of my tweets ever?
aggressive.
Goal umpires. Yeah. Keep David Roden though. I like him. Get everyone else.
D-Rod should just take up a new, maybe boundary umpire.
Yeah, get him anywhere.
Like just, he used to bounce the ball a lot. I reckon he'd be very good in the middle.
Maybe just have him as an umpire that just bounces the ball in the middle and then runs off the field. He just like bounces the ball and then just fucking legs the shit out of it.
No, I've got the perfect job for him. He's the guy that collects the ball from the crowd and then runs it back to the middle.
Oh, runs it back to the middle.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And just like dances and shit on the way back.
Does the worm as he gives it back. Like, yeah, absolutely.
No wonder they've got a 30-second countdown to the next bounce.
It's pure David Roden dance break.
David Roden's got like 25 dance moves to put out because he's got 25 goals to run
25
through.
goals.
Pre-match
I love David
entertainment is just David
I
Roden.
love that. I love that man so much.
I think we should get him on.
Oh, I would love to get David Roden.
Just get him on. Do you reckon he'd have a stupid, sexy AFL player?
Yeah, surely.
He'd see a lot as a goal umpire.
And like even when he played as well, like you could just tell him like of your whole career who was your stupid sexy player, you know?
If he says Travis Pope,
Lose
I'll give him my paycheck.
Give him the hosting duties.
Yeah, you're
He gets the glass
sacked.
table. He gets the glass table.
Yeah, you're gone.
I know. I'm aware.
Just like I sacked Hutto from Pairs on a Pod, I got Matt White. All right, on
Just
that
replacing all of
bombshell,
your co-hosts with Port players.
I think it's a brilliant choice. We are on the pair.
Steven
Subscribe.
Salopek is coming for my fucking hosting duties.
He's coming up the pecking order.
Oh, that's the final one. There it is. That's what ends the little smash cut. Well done. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. Again, we don't know what we're doing anymore. It's insanity.
We'll see you next time.
Sure.